Gwendolyn Brown has released her 5th reaction video to her YouTube channel. She reacted to season 17, episode 6, and in this episode, she actually makes a cameo because this is the episode where Isabel is packing up all of her things in preparation for her move to North Carolina. This is also the episode where Gwen discusses her sexuality on the show and comes out as bisexual. What she revealed on her YouTube channel was that she was actually blindsided by this line of questioning. Let's jump into today's video. Hello everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. I have had this video planned for a couple days, but I was feeling under the weather, but I am feeling much better now. So thank you all for your well wishes. Let's watch what Gwen had to say about her appearance in season 17, episode 6. This is taken from her latest YouTube upload, and I will link the full video down in the description of this video.
Isabel, what? It's Pride Month. You can't talk to me like that.
I'm bisexual.
I'm a comedic genius. I looked so mad in that moment, and I wasn't even upset. I was just like, oh. I was a little disappointed, you know? I thought we were going to talk about the divorce, and all of a sudden they're like, we're going to talk about your sexuality, Gwendolyn. We're going to, they're like, oh, we have another queer. We're going to exploit that. We're going to make ourselves famous. I'm sure it's not, but it did feel weird. They also had me talk about my autism here too. I was like, that's weird. I thought we were going to talk about my parents' divorce.
So Gwen discloses that she was under the impression that she was coming in to talk about her parents' divorce. She says that she was really surprised when the producers told her they wanted to talk about her sexuality and about her autism diagnosis. She is her usual diplomatic self, where she lets slip a hint of how disappointed she was. And that is why she looks so agitated in that scene. She goes on to speculate that maybe production wanted to sensationalize the fact that another brown child has come out, and she actually used the word exploit. But then she quickly chimes in that she's sure that that is not what they mean, that is just how she felt. I have so many thoughts and feelings about this. First of all, I really, really hope that producers did not essentially lure Gwendolyn there under false pretenses. So she says that she was under the impression that she was going to be discussing her parents' divorce, and she was surprised when she got there, they wanted to talk about her sexuality and her autism diagnosis. We don't actually see footage of her talking about her autism diagnosis in the episode that aired, but she says that she actually did discuss it quite a bit. A while back, when Gwen first started publicly talking about her family and the show and her perspective on things, she revealed that when she came out to her family, that Robin had actually suggested that she save that for the cameras. I always thought it was really interesting that Robin would want one of her non-biological children to save something incredibly personal for the show, when she seems to go to great lengths to not film inside her house. Her oldest child, Dayton, has all but disappeared from filming during season 17. So it seems like she grants her children their privacy, yet wants her non-biological children to share the most vulnerable parts of themselves with the world obviously for ratings. It's like, this isn't just a storyline. This is Gwen's actual life. So I always thought that revelation that Gwen made about Robin was pretty yucky. So I completely understand why Gwen was disappointed yet again when it seemed to be the only thing that producers wanted to talk about for the show. But I just have to say to Gwen, it was just shitty, period. And you don't have to qualify the producers, maybe their intentions. It's lovely that Gwen assumes the best of production, but it's okay to just say that that pissed you off. I think Gwen has the right to be upset, disappointed, hurt, pissed, regardless of what production's intentions were. We went several seasons with not seeing any of the kids very much at all during couch interviews. Seasons 15 and 16 were very much focused just on the adults, the fallout of the pandemic, and the kids and their viewpoints were sparse. I have read a lot of feedback online that viewers really missed that element of the show, and I echo that same sentiment. I really felt like an aspect of the show was missing by not having the kids' viewpoint on what was going on. So when during season 17, we started getting more kids and their perspective, I was so excited to hear from them. But I'm not gonna lie, it super bothers me if these kids were not dealt with in an honest and caring manner. This season alone, we had couch interviews from Mykelti and Tony, Gwendolyn, Gabriel, Truly, Savannah, and the youngest kids, Saul and Ari. Half of the kids interviewed this season are still minors or were a minor when their interviews were filmed. It's one thing to try to coax a certain answer or reaction out of one of the adults who were adults when they signed up for the show, but trying to do that to one of the kids, to me, is just majorly yucky. I mean, I'm just imagining being one of the kids. You're maybe just barely over 18. You're sitting there. You're ready to be interviewed. You have a camera in your face, a producer asking you questions. You think you are there to talk about one thing, and then the topic turns to something completely different. I get that that had to be an immense amount of pressure to just answer the questions, regardless if you're comfortable or not. And it just made me think about the fact that for the past 2 seasons, we have seen moments with Gabe during his couch interviews where he gets incredibly emotional and vulnerable about his relationship with Kody. If he was coerced or misled into those reactions and the comments that he made, that super bothers me, and I think that that would be really, really gross. I sincerely hope that that is not the case. I've also noticed that the adults seem to not have a problem asserting their wishes on what they do and do not want to talk about during their interviews. We saw during the one-on-one tell-all that Kody just flat out refused to answer a question from Suki about Robin being the favorite wife. Have their children been counseled that they too can refuse to answer a question if they don't feel comfortable answering? It really doesn't seem like that to me based off of what Gwen said in her reaction video. For so many of us, we have thoroughly enjoyed getting the children's viewpoint on what is occurring on the show. But I certainly do not want any of them talking about anything that they're not comfortable with. And my thoughts are different when it comes to Kody, because I have said that I don't think Kody should have just been able to weasel out of answering questions during the tell-all. And my reasoning is, Kody and the wives signed up to have their lives documented. This show is about their lives and their relationships. If you weasel out of answering a question, to me, that's kind of unfair to the viewing audience. But with the kids, they did not sign up for this. It seems like a lot of them that are participating now in production, it's as a favor to their parents. So there is just such a layer of ickiness when I think that these kids could be being coaxed or coerced. I want to circle back for just a moment to what I said at the beginning of this video, where I have noticed that time and time again when Gwen is doing her reaction videos, that she will make a comment about how she didn't agree with something that someone did, or she didn't like what someone did or said, but then she will quickly follow that up by saying, well, I'm sure they didn't mean it that way, or maybe it was taken out of context or whatnot. She consistently will add a qualifying statement following up maybe a criticism. I don't even really think that they're criticisms, but she never affords that same grace to her brother Peyton. With Peyton, she always assumes the worst intentions. And we can only go off of what Gwen and Peyton have both shared about their relationships. We don't know what kind of work has happened behind the scenes to try to mend the relationship. We have no idea. But I just can't help but notice that she seems to be a lot more willing to assume that people can change or have better intentions when it comes to like her dad or her other moms. But with Peyton, it is a hard no. And I'm not gonna lie, Peyton has said some incredibly yucky things, problematic things about women, about his LGBTQ siblings, and I am not excusing those. Those are gross. But this season alone, we have watched Kody say some really horrifically yucky things about women, the patriarchy, Gwen's own mom, and his perception of Christine's intentions. And Gwen, from what she has commented in her reaction videos, has always held space in her heart for Kody to have the ability to learn and grow, or that maybe he didn't exactly mean what he said, or maybe what he said was taken out of context. That's just something I've continued to notice. I want to hear what you guys have to think, so let me know down in the comments. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at realiteasquad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.